So we're on unit 12.7a. And these are just word problems. Obviously involving arithmetic sequence series, geometric sequence and series. Okay, so for example number 1, this is actually going to be one of the things in this class that I would actually find kind of useful for your future. Okay, it's one of those rare times that you can actually see where, oh, I could see how I could actually use this formula. Okay, so for example number 1, if I tell you Sarah's starting pay is $29,500 and gets annual raises. What does annual mean? Yearly. Okay, so once a year. Annual raises of $1,400. Okay. I would like you to find her pay during her 12th year. Find her pay during her 12th year. So for instance, if you're getting, when you go out to work and you get job offers, sometimes you will get a job offer of, okay, you can get, I'll pay you, $30,000 or whatever the number is, and you can take annual raises of, they'll give you 2 offers. One is, you can be paid this base amount with annual raises of a certain amount, like a dollar amount. Sometimes they give you a general base pay and then annual raises as a percentage, okay? You kind of want to figure out which is better, okay? Which is better for you? This is how you can figure that out, okay? So you figure in her first year, she makes $29,500, sorry, okay? In her second year, how much would she make? You would have to add $29,500 and $1,400. So in her second year, what would she make? $30,900. Okay? We want to figure out what will she make in her 12th year. That's what we're finding. So really, this is a what? First off, it's a sequence because we're not adding them all up. But what kind of sequence? Arithmetic, because it has a common difference, okay? Your common difference is $1,400. What would you call $29,500? That's your what? A1. This is your AN, or A12, basically. So we don't want to say AN, but A12. So I want to figure out, how do I find A12? Any ideas? Plug it into which formula? Arithmetic sequence formula. AN equals A1 plus D times N minus 1. So I'm solving for A12 equals, your A1 is $29,500 plus common difference of $1,400 multiplied by N is what? 12 minus 1. So $29,500 plus $1,400, this is really times 11. Okay, if you multiply that together, you get $15,400. Add those together, and in her 12th year, if you add those together, and yes, you can use calculators on your test, she would be making $44,900. That's it. So using arithmetic or geometric sequences, you can project or find, what your salary would be. Okay? Questions on how I did that? Say it again. Well, yeah, that's not very much money, but straight out of college, that's a decent job offer, unfortunately.
That's 12 years out of college.
No. You lost me. Okay, number 2. You're right. Okay, if you would like me to make up larger numbers, it's just going to make larger problems for you. So let's just stick with my nice smaller numbers. Okay? For this one, I'm going to tell you that Simon's starting salary is Simon's starting salary is $24,000. So he's not starting too high. And he receives annual raises of 5%. Okay, of 5%. This time I want to know what will be his salary in his 6th year. What will be his salary in his 6th year? So your first year, he makes $24,000. The second year, how would you find out how much he makes?
5% of 24,000.
Okay. If you use your calculator and you take 5% of 24,000. Someone do that. First off, what do you have to multiply by? 24,000 times what?
0.05.
Not times 0.5, that's 50%. 24,000 times 0.05, that's equal to $1,200. Does he really only make $1,200? You add it. So what should you be really multiplying by? 1.05. Because he makes 100% of his salary plus 5%. So he's really making 105% of his salary. Okay? So make it easier on yourself. Do 2 steps in one. Multiply by 1.05. Don't just multiply by 0.5 and then add, because a lot of people will multiply it and then they forget to do the adding part. So it looks like, oh, we made $1,200. No. Okay? So if you multiply 24,000 times 1.05, you will get 25,200. Makes a little more sense. Okay? We want to find what will be his salary in his 6th year. So I want to find A sub 6. Again, this was A1. We want to find A6. What is your ratio here? 1.05. Okay? Yes?
Okay, couldn't you have made it easier and did like the 12,000, I think it was?
1,200?
Or 1,200, and then use that as...
That is not your common difference. Okay? That's the common difference for the first year. So the first year he gets a raise of $1,200. But the second year, he would get a raise of $25,200 times 0.05. He gets a raise of $1,260. So it's not a common difference because every year he gets 5% of what he made the year before. So you're actually getting bigger raises than just a flat amount. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can't use a common difference on this. That would be arithmetic. This is not arithmetic because it's a percentage. So it's a multiply factor. But that's a good thought. Okay, so here we want to find A6. So A sub n equals A1 times R to the n minus 1. So AN is, we want to find A6 equals A1 is 24,000. Ratio of 1.05, and you have to put the 1 in there. Okay, if you just put 0.05, you're going to be finding just their raises. Okay, which is not including the salary, which is going to give you a really small number. To the n minus 1, what's your n here? 6 minus 1, so we're going to do to the 5th power. This is something you definitely want to do on a calculator. Okay, so we're going to want to do 1.05 to the 5th power and multiply that, do not clear it out, multiply that by 24,000. That will give you A6 equals 30,630.7575. Is that an actual salary? No. So what would he actually make? You have to do what? Round it. What would you round it to? 30,630 point what? 76. Okay? If you do not round correctly on your test, I will mark it wrong. This is not a salary. Okay? You have to round it correctly. So that would be in his 6th year. So if you were given 2 job offers, 2 competing firms, you're going to be whatever. Okay? One gives you a percentage increase, one gives you a straight amount. Okay? You need to know which one's better, okay? You can do a projection, figure out, okay, in 5 years, how much will I be making? Which is it better, okay? Starting off at a higher salary, but getting a flat bonus or a flat raise isn't always better, okay? Sometimes it's better to start at a lower salary and get percentage raises, and you'll end up better in the long run, okay? So it's something that you can kind of back and forth, see which is better for you. Okay, let's do one more and then we'll be done. Number 3. Okay, for number 3, if I tell you a theater, like a movie theater, a theater has 15 seats in the first row. 15 seats in the first row. 19 seats in the second. 23 seats in the third. Okay, a theater has 15 seats in the first row, 19 seats in the second, 23 seats in the third. And each row continues to grow by 4 thereafter. Okay? If the theater has a total of 20 rows, how many total seats are there? That's kind of a long one, sorry. So for whatever reason, say you're, buying stuff, like there's an architect, they're building a new movie theater, and you're in charge of buying all the new seats. Okay, they say, well, this theater starts with 15 and we add 4 to each row, there's 20 rows. How many do I need to buy? That's where you can figure this out. Okay, so the first row would have 15. The second row we said has 19, then 23. So this is your A1, A2, A3. We want to figure out how many total seats there are. What is my last term? A what? 20, because there's 20 total. So we need to figure out what is this. Now, it's not just asking for the last number. I'm not just asking how many seats are in the last row. I want to find the total. So this is a what? Series, because you're adding them together. So really, these should be pluses. I apologize. These should be pluses. So if we want to find, and now is this arithmetic or geometric? Arithmetic, because we're adding something each time, so the common difference is 4. Okay, what is the arithmetic series formula? S sub n, S sub n equals what? N times A1 plus AN, so in this case it's going to be A20, over 2. So, can I plug everything in here that I need? Do I know what N is? 20. There's 20 total. Do I know my A1?
Yes.
15. Do I know my A20, my last term?
91.
You do not yet, but we can figure it out. Divided by 2. So how can I find that number? How do I find it? Use the what formula? I need to find this term number. Arithmetic sequence formula. So AN equals A1 plus D times N minus 1, and we're going to plug in what? What term number do I need? The 20th. So A20 equals, A1 is 15, common difference of 4 times 20 minus 1. So 15 plus 4 times 19. That gives us 15 plus 4 times 19 is 76. Add those together. So Angel was right. There are 91 seats in the last row. Then, if you work this out, the 20 and the 2 will reduce to give you a 10 times 15 plus 91 gives you 106. Multiply that together. Total seats, 1060. So there are 1,060 seats. Questions on how I did that? Well, hopefully you're good. Okay, homework for this is going to be worksheet 7. Okay, you're doing worksheet 7, numbers 1 through 10. Okay, worksheet 7, numbers 1 through 10, and that should be in your green packet. I will put it up for you, and then you guys can get started. Remember, we have one more set of notes for this year, and then we're done. Okay, and we'll do those on block day.